But this one is all about, what it takes to become a rock star stager, and 10 tips to success. We're going to do a countdown on this one, which I think is kind of fun. So who is this for? I love it. You guys are helping each other with the screen stuff, because I didn't even know how you filled the screen, but that's good. It's for new home stagers. It's for anyone thinking about the staging industry. This crazy pandemic time that we find ourselves in really makes us think. How many of you guys in the chat, I'm going to always throw this out because we learn from each other in the chat, but in the chat, how many of you guys during these crazy last, 5 months now, has really been thinking about the direction of your life and really what you want to do? It really brought a lot in perspective for me. So I know a lot of people are here because of it. In a lot of your survey comments were, gosh, this is all kind of new to me, but now I'm thinking really what I really want to do. So great. Yes, daily, Dusty says, hey, I hear you. Anyway, it's for real estate agents who are looking into staging. It's for veteran home stagers, design enthusiasts, color lovers. If that's you, this is for you. And I'm going to try and see if I can get this survey up, because sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. We're going to start a fun little poll, and I'm going to hit start. Hopefully you should see it. But it says basically, you guys who are on the line, you guys are the first few hundred that have jumped on. Oh, you guys have already figured it out. Go ahead and click what best describes you. You can pick 2 or more. It's completely up to you. I take a quick poll, and then you guys can all just jump in, and then we're going to see, what fits. This also helps me to know who I'm speaking to the most. I looked at all your survey questions. I'm going to be answering a lot of those, but I'm also want to make sure I fix this to, who you are. So a lot of you are not a stager looking into the industry, about 35%. I'm going to actually end the poll. Hopefully you got a chance. 3, 2, 1, get your vote in, end the poll so that you guys can see it. Now you can see I have 35% looking in, 22% new stagers, 3% veterans, 32% design lovers, love it, 7% agents, love it. All right, you guys, great. Thank you. I'm going to close the poll. I'm going to go back to my screen share. Hopefully that's up and you should see it. I'm having fun with this new system. Can you tell I'm slowly figuring it out? Okay, so thank you guys for filling that out and letting me know. What are we going to learn? I'm going to talk about the career outlook. Wow. Okay, I don't know if any of you has been watching the real estate industry. It's insanely crazy right now, right? However many of you agree, go ahead and put it in the chat room. And save your questions too, because I'll be taking questions at the end. Don't worry, I do jump in. But I'm going to talk about career outlook, where I'm seeing it going and why. How to get started, just some logistics, because I know a lot of you asked that, like, where do I even start with this stuff? How to overcome fear, because most of us have that, especially my new stagers, and the costs, and how to stay motivated with any new business for someone or anyone who wants to jump in. Discovering your sweet spot. And this is a cool thing, because a lot of people don't realize all the different avenues you can take your design love. There's a lot of them, trust me. How much money you can make, pricing, and when to say no. How to take a phone order. I'm going to give you kind of my order sheet that I recommend people use. And it's just kind of structure for success when you're talking to a client for any one of a design service. And the number one thing for success in the industry. We're going to do the countdown. And then of course, if I give you a lot of great information, is it okay if at the end I give you a special bonus and then take a Q&A? If that's okay with you, I always like to tell people, I can tell you a little bit about me and my product at the very end. If that's okay in the chat room, say that's a deal, or no problem, or yes. I'm going to keep you active, guys, so I know you're listening. Great. Okay. These were some of the questions you guys had. There were a ton, you can see. I mean, thousands of you kind of filled this out, which I really appreciate, but a lot of it revolves around this. You're in the right place when you like to see a room go from this to this. You love to see the before and after photos. It's your jam. Don't worry, that's my jam too. I imagine that's most all of our jams on this line. We are that little rare breed who loves and lives design, right? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Audra Slinky. I'm president of the Home Staging Resource, and I started the first kind of online staging training back in 2006. So I've been doing this a long time. I had my staging business, and then I did my business and training, and I love what I do, empowering people to follow their passions and create real wonderful businesses that they love. That's kind of what I do. I blog. I've gotten lots of great awards, which I'm really proud of, but I'm most proud to have trained the most award-winning stagers in the industry. For those of you looking into industry, people just like you, I will share their stories. You know they're my person when you see this logo. HSR certified professional stager and redesigner. That is my old logo I created back in 2006. It has not changed. That is my person. So if you were on my line, a little shout out. If you've taken my training, then thank you. I also, a few years back, started, because a lot of my people wanted color training, added to it for those people who just want it, colors their jam, color consulting. I did a very condensed training, 3 days in that. And then I also more recently created an e-design training. E-design's really hot. So, and that's just all off of feedback from my peeps, from my members. So that's a little bit about me. Like I said, when COVID hit, I went into action and I did these happy hours every week. And there's a ton of free resources on how to go remote with your business. And I have to mention this. It's at this website address if you need to take a photo of it, because a lot of you, even in the survey, were like, you're someone who hasn't gone through my training, you don't know who I am, and you're like, how do I work with COVID? Don't worry, I've already covered that. It's right here in multiple video sequence. You're going to see all my happy hours, lots of stories of how stagers really worked it and did a wonderful job just furthering our industry during these, tricky times. So I just have to share that with you. My story is these were my two little ones when I started the training. So I'm not much different than a lot of you. Luckily, they're not in online schooling right now. I'm feeling for the moms who have little ones in the online schooling. But this was kind of my story. I worked the corporate world, was laid off and had to make that decision on, I used to train Fortune 500 companies on the new thing called the internet and how you use it to market and technology. So I've always been really fascinated with internet marketing and all of that. And I decided when I had my little ones, I'm going to do what I want to do. And I always loved design. I loved and lived design. I thought, you know what, I'm going to follow my passion. I had that epiphany. And how many of you guys have kind of had that epiphany? Probably even more recently. Usually when big events happen in your life, like obviously COVID or obviously having children, it makes you kind of step out of your comfort zone. And certainly at this point it did for me. Flash forward, many years later, these boys are a lot older and they can do their online schooling on their own. I had a 2020 grad, poor kid. But yeah, this is just kind of the way we are right now. So I just have to tell you a little bit about me in case you're wondering. Let's get back to the presentation. If you don't know what staging is, and thank you guys in the comments. I'm looking at your chat. Someone just said they just got laid off. And I've been through, when you get laid off, you go through all of the feelings of, grief, anger, all of that. And I sympathize. It's so hard. And so many of us are going through that right now. And, I just want you to know I've been there. Thank you in the chat for being really honest about where you're at, because this is why I keep the chat up. I know a lot of people say, well, it's distracting from your. No, this is good for us to all get together. Sometimes we need to do this. Anyway, so home staging is using limited funds, practical creativity, objectivity. That's why a seller can't do it themselves. Market demographic knowledge, real estate knowledge, and extraordinary design passion and expertise to professionally prepare a home so that buyers fall in love. That's what we do. We make buyers fall in love. And it's so rewarding. Here's some examples. LTW Design, I always share my members' work, just if you're wondering, and you can ooh and ah over it. What do I think? Where do I think this industry is going? I'm really excited about it. I've been talking about this for a long time, and despite the whole what we're going through with COVID, I just like to pull up articles that are from the last month. Essentially, new listings climb. First time since pandemic start. People aren't afraid, obviously, to put their listing on the market. I know it's a seller's market, but more sellers are putting their listing out there. You know why it is, guys? People want to move. They've been cooped up in their house. How many of you guys feel like you're just over your house right now? I don't, that's me. So they want to move. They're ready for a change of scenery. August is poised for 2020 home buying peak, which is so crazy because it's usually March and May, right? So stagers are busy. Home prices are continuing to accelerate. Interest rates are low. This one I loved. This article just came out. I shared it on my Facebook, homestagingresource.com, if you want to pull it. If you're a stager, it's a great one to pull. I'm going to be sharing it even some more. But guess what? Buyers, 64% of buyers are ready to go over their budget to get the house of their dreams. Meaning, if it's gorgeously staged, they're going to blow that budget for it. I don't know what this is going to do to all of us in the future, but I kind of love that. It means that even if you're an agent and you're like, I'm just going to throw the house in the market, it doesn't need to be staged, it's going to sell fast anyway, you're going to be known as the lower priced agent, because the agents who put it on the market for a little bit more and stage it, they're getting these buyers. These buyers are like, I'm blowing my budget for this house. I'm going to spend $50,000 more than the neighbor who didn't stage. And that neighbor's going to be like, what? I should have got that agent, right? So that's why staging's so hot, and it's kind of economy proof, which I love. You guys are so funny. I'm seeing a lot of quick typers. New stats. Okay, did you guys get these new stats? Put in the chat room. Did you get these new stats from RISA? Basically, a survey of 13,000 staged homes. 85% of them sold 5%, 5 to 23% over list price. Crazy, right? Return on investment. If they spent just 1%, that's the smallest little sliver. Oh, guys, okay, well, don't worry. I'm going to blog about it. So make sure you keep following me. I'm going to send it to you. It's in my blog, because I've got actually a surprise for you guys. I told you I had a bonus because you're on this. I've created in Canva. I'm going to tell you what Canva is if you don't know what it is in just a bit. Almost 20 cool statistics that are just like this that you can customize. You can change the background image and stuff like that for you to completely use in your social media. So this is for you. I'm giving these to you. I'm going to give it to you in my follow-up email, just so you guys know, because it's a big long link, and it just goes into your free Canva's free, goes into your free Canva account. It's yours. So that's my gift to you. Thank you for coming. You're welcome, Adrielle. All right. So what does that mean? People have money to spend. When they have money to spend, it's not just great on staging. It's great on design. Somebody had emailed me and said, I'm really more of a designer. So do I need the staging webinar? I'm like, I talk both. I'm always talking both staging and design. People have equity. They've been doing year-over-year equity on their home. I mean, in all of these states, and it's getting better and better. So when they have equity, they want to improve it, especially if they can't move right away, and especially if they're over their home because of COVID. So no surprise, remodeling's on the rise. I just pulled this article, start of Q3. I don't know, that's right now, right? Look at the bounce from COVID. We're already back to pre-remodeling, and it's even busier. If any of you guys on the chat room tried to remodel and you can't even get a hold of a service person, yes, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, industry is hot. Forecast is growing. So it has been one of those really rare, wonderful industries that has not been as affected by COVID. A lot of my stagers have said that. They're very, very grateful. So top 10 reasons, top 10 things that make stagers successful. 10, you have multiple services for growth. A successful stager doesn't say, I'm just a stager. A successful designer doesn't just say, I'm a designer, I don't stage. You do it all. And frankly, that's one reason why I think I'm like the only trainer, if you've ever looked into getting training for staging design certification, I'm the only one that actually does both in one little price. Maybe there's another one, I don't know, and the reason I do is you have to learn both business models. You have to be the answer to your client's needs, right? And it's really not that much different. It's the other side of design. Become proficient in both staging and design. And hey, why don't you consider adding holiday design or Airbnb design or model home design or feng shui or organization or even commercial space design? Remember when I told you there's a lot of different avenues that your design love can go into. The good news is most all of these things I actually cover in my staging and design certification, just so you know, because my members have been asked, and that's why I just include it. In other words, don't limit yourself, rock star. That's just the point. For those of you who are wondering what is redesign, Yacht staging. Melissa, why didn't I think of yacht staging? I love it. I'll stage a yacht any day. Okay. Redesign is it's also called home styling. It's using what people already own and love in order to create a space that's harmonizing, functional, personalized to the homeowner's lifestyle. It's really the other side of the coin to staging. It's really no different than that much different than design, but here's a little photo of kind of what I'm talking about. This is before and this is after LTW design. So obviously she's not the one putting in the countertops or the paint or whatever. She's telling the owner, she's specifying the flooring, the countertops, the paint, and then she finishes it up. I mean, this is kind of a larger scale design, but she's working with a general contractor to do that. That's why I cover both in my training. You never know what someone will need, and you want to be the answer. And that's, what a successful top 10 successfuls do. Because I always tell people, though, if you're jumping into the industry, staging, a little hint, staging is the best service first to market. So I do focus on staging because it's so easy to market, because you have agents who are ready and willing. They want to partner with you if they really know you, and love what you do. A well done and well positioned staging job should turn into move-in redesign, because the home seller is statistically far more inclined to spend money into the home they're moving into. Remember that little graph I showed you where they're ready to blow their budget on the new home? People are ready. And so if you are a stager right now, do not neglect positioning your design services for every staging job. And in my training, I kind of walk people through that. Here's a follow-up email sequence that you follow up to show your appreciation and also to let someone know that you're there for them. Okay, number 9. Here's a big one that I see a lot of stagers make the mistake. They don't actively choose themselves. They have a little bit of that imposter syndrome, and they're a little bit afraid to just go all out, right? They have that little bit of fear. How many of you guys in the chat room have just a little bit of fear and have a hard time just choosing you when it comes to trusting that you can step out and start a business or be a designer or stager? Can anyone hear me in the chat room on that one? Yes, I get it. Well, the stagers that are successful, they are all in. They're all in on themselves. They believe, they commit, they invest in their craft. The good news is there's a lot of great materials, free stuff even online that you can learn. It's just hard to sift through, but they are in it to win it. They are faking it till they make it. This email I always think is a little sad. One of my members, Barb Jeffords, she said that she actually, in April of 2007, she actually was going to become a stager. She even had her first business permit. She found it, but she quit. She didn't choose herself. Her mother passed away, so that was kind of like one of those life changes. She took that practical job and sadly didn't choose herself until many, many years later, and had some regret there, right? So I hear that a lot. It happens. So I get it. Timing is important for people. Someone says, fake it till you make it. Fear is a factor, but you can overcome it. Trust me, it's like anything. I'm going to walk you through that a little bit in this training. I'm going to touch on that because I get it too. I get fearful the moment I go live on a webinar. Trust me. Entrepreneurship, people think is scary or just really hard to do. It's not. It's become a lot easier these days than it's ever been because we're all online remotely, right? We can do it all online. There's so many great tools out there. For some people, it's finances. I get it. I'm going to walk you through the costs. In fact, one of you, I didn't get the names, I just did email, so it was very private, said their biggest challenge was just getting out of their own way, worrying what others think, worrying about their credibility, even though she has training up the wazoo. So she's kind of like, she's kind of overanalyzed, paralyzed, just doing training, but not getting on that bicycle. And my best advice is, it's like riding a bike in the sense that you have to get on, and it's scary at first when you get rolling, but once you get rolling, it's all downhill. And you just have to trust me on that. I do a lot of exercises and videos in my training on just motivating people to get on that bike. You got to start pedaling. And once you do, you trust your instincts in that home. You cannot hurt the home. You will love it. I've never had anyone say they didn't because they're following their passion, right? So it makes sense. So I get it. So for you, I'm speaking to you, some of you, is fear keeping you from doing what you love? May the space between where I am and where I want to be inspire me. And I love this image. I use it a lot, and I even use it in for myself because these are challenging times. But if we've learned anything during these times, is we can rise to this occasion. We already have. So in my training, I have a private Facebook group. It's called Stagers Connect. It's purely for support, inspiration, growth, and we love on each other. I always tell people, and I always, a lot of my blog posts, if you ever go, if you've read anything, I pull any of my social media, it's pulled from the gorgeous work of everybody in that group. It's a great group. And so I pull stories from there. So I always have to say, this story always resonated with me because it was a story from Stephanie, and she had just started her training, and she was totally out of her comfort zone with the job. She did not want to take it. That was an occupied staging. She only wanted to do vacant. It was in mid-century. She didn't feel like that was even her style. Completely out of her comfort zone, and she almost turned it down. And one of the things that we do in this group is we motivate each other to say yes. And a lot of people say, I'm ready to turn down this 4,000 square foot house. I don't want to do it. We say, just say yes. Start pedaling. Get on that bike. And then she says, to motivate everyone else, I got to say, I love the style now. For everyone who's ever doubted yourself, just do it. Push through the fear with that passion of yours and do it. You'll surprise yourself. And if you see this after photo, there you go. Right? Did she do a great job? You can go ahead and say it. Here's another before and after. Here we go. Yes. So yeah, pushing through your comfort zone and finding out if this for you. So let's do a little test, a little quiz, and you're going to have to tell me yes or no if this fits you. But if you know this industry is for you, because a lot of you guys had this question in the survey, you just don't know if this industry fits you. You just don't know if you're right for this. You have to, the people that are successful in this have a passion for all things design. It is really that passion that propels them and motivates them in their business, right? Don't start a business you're not passionate about. Just number one, you got to be passionate. Staging is an art form. There's no formula. So that's the good news. I know a lot of people think, but I don't know the exact 10 steps I need to take in the living room if I'm staging. Guess what? That's fine. I'm gonna give you that outline, and you're gonna just wing it, and it's gonna be awesome, just like Stephanie did. If you have that passion for design, because it gets down to this, and I want to hear you in the chat room. Did you redecorate your room when you were a kid, or do you walk into your friends' homes or homes now and just notice all those little things? The new pillow, the flooring, something you change. Is that something you do? And if that is you, you have this rare sickness. I know somebody commented to me before. They said, don't call it a sickness. That's so negative. Well, I don't know what to call it. It's just this weird thing. We think everybody has it, but they don't. It is us. It's just what we're about. And this is what I'm saying is the common denominator between what I see the stagers who are really successful. They're the go-to friend. They're giving design advice. They were the ones who staged their own home, and the agent said, are you a stager? And they're like, what? They love HGTV, the magazines and blogs. I mean, that was me. I get it. So the things you are passionate about, they're really not random. That's your gift. That's your calling. And you're in your sweet spot. I just had this conversation with my friend who was laid off just 2 days ago from her job, and she was really passionate about it, but she was thinking, maybe I'm just looking for that part-time. She was just looking at the elements of a job, and I said, don't look at the elements of your next job. Look at what you're passionate about, because it's not about just getting through the next year to retirement. It's about never retiring, because if you're passionate about what you do, you don't even think about that retirement end date. It just doesn't come. So anyway, off my soapbox. Sorry. Okay. Let's talk about costs involved. And even brass tacks, training and guidance, obviously I'm going to recommend, but some people start without it. Marketing materials, you're going to need business cards, a brochure. Nowadays, those are so easy to create on Canva. I'm going to show you what I mean. A website and hosting. Hosting is kind of the land that your website sits on. That's not that hard these days. That's really easy. There's not free services, but there's really cheap services like Wix and Weebly and Squarespace. We actually have websites because I never want technology to slow anybody up when it comes to choosing this field. So we do have that. I'll show you a couple of them in a bit. And your computer, printer, cell. Good news is all of this stuff is write-offs to your life and your business. And none of this really costs that much. In fact, most of you probably have a lot of these things already, right? So the point is, home staging is one of the least expensive businesses you can start that you can actually make really good money at. That's not a multi-level marketing. I kind of crack up at that. It's absolutely not. It's very easy. You do not need to buy a bunch of inventory. That is for people who do vacant homes. Not everyone does vacant homes. I'm going to talk about that. The number 8 quality of the successful stager is they get their foundation for their business set. They just get started. In my training, I have kind of this first 50 thing, and it's like a checklist of those first things you just have to do. It's like just slug through that beginning business stuff, which is you got to consider your business type. Are you a sole proprietorship LLC? Go down to the city, register your business, or go online and do your LLC if you want to do it that way. It's not that hard now. There's tons of resources. You just need to Google. How do I start a business? What business type should I do? And choose your business name. This is the fun part. I always say choose your business name, reserve the domain, that's the website address, and pop the champagne. In my training, that's day 1. You don't have to do it day 1. It's just the activities in day 1. Sometimes people take 2 weeks because it's the biggest decision you're going to make. I have some advice on that I'll get to. Create your website, your sales stuff, organize your home office or your kitchen desk. In my training, that's what people do share is their kitchen desk, their home office. They take the before photo, they have the after, they're starting their portfolio. That's how you get it started. And then outline your services. I told you there's so many services, and I saw that a lot of you guys had some crazy service ideas as well. I'm going to have to read through this chat later to get some more ideas. I saw somebody say funeral staging. Thought that was interesting. And build your portfolio. A lot of people go, well, how do I do this if I don't have a portfolio? Do some rooms in your own home. Go to a friend's house. If this is your jam, then this should be very natural for you. Don't worry. Everybody starts somewhere. They weren't just given a natural portfolio. That's okay. It's just how it is. So here's my advice on picking a name. Pick a name that's simple, consistent, and broad. I made every mistake in the book. I do not like the name of my business, homestagingresource.com. So boring. But I'm stuck with it, right? How many years later? Consider your own name. I should have just branded myself, but I was like a lot of you, and I didn't want to choose myself. I didn't want to put myself out there. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that because I was kind of nervous. I was like that person, that comment that I showed you where she was like, I just worried about what people think. Who cares what people think? You have to put yourself out there because when you put yourself out there, you're going to get the people that are your people. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But so think about your own name, Audra Slinky Design, Audra Slinky Interiors, Audra Design, whatever your name is, add design, add interiors, add staging, done. Search Google and Facebook just to make sure it's available or nobody else has taken it. I don't imagine they're going to take your name. That's the beauty of picking your name. And do a little logo if you can. That's a memorable thing, but don't agonize over it. Some tips on a logo. I always have to say, I like squares, circles, and don't choose a color. That was one of the mistakes I made because you're going to get sick of that color. So I've rebranded, my company like 3 times. So use Canva to create simple marketing materials. Here's what I love. Here is canva.com. How many of you guys know what canva.com is and you use Canva? If you say yes, if you can. It is free. It is easy. This is what it is. It shows you can create any kind of social post, personal business. You can get them printed. The quality is awesome and it's super inexpensive. And I'm going to give you a Canva template. I'll show you how easy it is. I showed you in an email as your bonus. So you'll see how cool it is to just click on it. It adds to your free Canva account, and then you can get in there and edit it and have fun. So in my training, I have a lot of Canva templates that I give to my members. But here's some examples of logos that I say just keep it really simple. Do you see how she just did her name? Staging and Interiors. And a lot of these logos can all be created on Canva. You're going to love it. This training, just knowing about Canva, is going to be worth its weight in gold to you, as it is. This is the business card that I have in my training in Canva, where someone could just go in, they change the text, they change the photo, they just change it all. There's the back of the business card, and that way they're just ready to go, right? They're not agonizing. I remember when I started my staging business, I think I took a month to create my business cards and my brochure. A month to come up with the verbiage. So that's why we have these all in my the training, so people can just literally click on it, add it to their Canva account, change their stuff, and print. And I also have brochures in there. Here's an idea. You might want to snap it if you're creating brochure right now for your staging business, a photo. They can, of course, change it all. Keep this, blank, and that's the back, and then that's the front. Obviously, I tell them swap out the photo here, put a room photo in, top 10 reasons is great. Put in maybe some of your services, done. So it makes it really easy. That way they're not looking at blank pieces of paper. So that's it. Focus on being productive instead of just busy, right? They bang out their business cards, their brochures, they're done day one, they're ready to hand them out day two and start staging. Why not, right? Successful stagers, they just keep moving. They move with momentum. They stay motivated. I tell people that even as you're going through my training, I notice a lot of you guys are going through my training right now. I love that. The key is momentum. If anything bogs you up, skip it. That's the beauty of online training. You can skip it, circle back, because you have your checklist. So I have that getting started guide, like I said. And the key is for anyone who's even thinking about the industry, a lot of the reason you don't choose yourself is you think, well, I wasn't a stager before. Here's a note to you. No one was a stager before. All of us come from other industries. In the last week, I've had someone from, oh my gosh, the most interesting people, like a rocket scientist, a teacher, a nurse, a visual merchandiser. I had the most interesting backgrounds come into, reinvent themselves into this industry. And that's their story. And the beauty of that is they can take everything from their past and pull it into their story, into their present, especially now going through, COVID is their story. A lot of people who have decided to change their life during this time or take a new path or direction or start their business, COVID is part of that story. It's that awakening for a lot of us. So use it. And the reason why I say you use it and you write it down is you're going to use that in every bit of your materials, from your About Us on your website page to your Facebook About Us page to your Instagram, everything, because you're going to throw it out there so that you're going to attract the people that are you. Does that make sense? I love it. Wine and spirit industry. Yes. Everything that's, hospitality, used to being with people. That's your relatable story. And people are into stories right now. They love it. That's how they connect. And you set your goals, you define your vision, but most importantly, you tap into what motivates you. So you know what motivates me too? Oh, you saw it. At the end of this, I am going to have this big glass of wine. No, I'm kidding. I will. I'm not kidding about that, but it's a motivator, right? What motivates you to get through your work, to get the tough stuff done? Enough Netflix for us. Let's get some of this tough stuff done and let's become better through all of this. But at the end of the day, when you are working on something that you care about, this is Steve Jobs. I'm a pretty brilliant guy. You don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. And what's really cool is I just got this email and I thought it was so perfect. It's the kind of email I get kind of all the time when someone signs up for my training. Basically, they're reinventing themselves. Katka, she just sent it August 6th. Thank you for checking in. So I'm always checking in with people. Seeing you every day in the videos is comforting. I really appreciate your constant encouragement and fusions of hope and inspiration and inspirational quotes. I'm an inspirational quote girl, and an emoji girl. So that's just me. I always throw that out there because that's kind of my people. She says, I've sunk my teeth into the training material, learning a lot. It's sort of like drinking from a fire hose, LOL. I'm taking my time, trying to be thorough. I've not gotten much sleep since everything I'm learning gets my gears going and I can't stop thinking and bouncing ideas in my head. I guess it should have come with a disclaimer that the training might cause loss of sleep due to extreme excitement. How cool is that, right? She's fired up. She's fired up on her direction. How many of you guys, there's times in our life where we've all felt that way, right? I mean, the first time I felt that way, it was like a class, it was an interior design class in high school. I was fired up on creating a floor plan. I should have known, right? I should have known then and not done the practical route as a business major. Anyway, I circle back. Finding your sweet spot. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. In staging, when people get started in staging, they usually do, they throw it all out there, all their services, and then they do find their sweet spot from consultation to vacant. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. If you have money to invest in inventory, if you have flexibility in time, you want full-time work, if you don't like the client part so much, you want a clean slate and just work your magic, well, then a vacant is for you, right? That's your jam. Here's some photos of, because I know you guys love this sort of stuff, right? That is vacant. If you have monetary constraints, like I said, you don't need to buy inventory. Inventory is for vacant homes. If you need more time flexibility, you've got little kids, you want to work just evenings or weekends. If you like to work with people and offer solutions, and you like the challenge and creativity of working with people's design ideas, that's consultation. That is this. You know, so it's just reworking people's stuff. People need that today. They need both, but you don't have to do both if you don't want to. You will start usually in both and then go one or the other. And then I get the next question. How do I make money doing consults? Well, let's just do the math. If you have 2 staging consultations a week, and this is also helping you with pricing. A consultation is usually about 2 hours, $200 across the country. Right? Depending on where you're at. If you're Newport Beach, obviously more money. Shreveport, Louisiana, you know, maybe a little less, right? You know, the work in your areas, you know, where you go. But $100 an hour, 2 hours, $200, 2 a week, $400, and that's on the low side. A staging day where you're going in there, rolling up your sleeves, doing some magic in the house. Maybe you do a color consultation. Those are more money because you're doing a lot more work for that, and you're giving them a lot more material. That is $1,450 a week or $72,000 a year doing 13 client hours. So that's it, right? Not hard. If that staging job turned into a day of design or redesign where you're going in and reworking stuff in a room in their home or rooms in their home, that's another $700. And I'm just giving you this as kind of, you know, standard pricing. Like I said, in your area, it might be a little bit more or a little bit less, but that would be over $2,000 a week at over 6 figures a year. This is a zero overhead business model. Notice I didn't mention that you're buying inventory to put in there. I didn't even mention shopping time. A lot of stagers shop for clients. A lot of sourcing and shopping for clients where they just bill hourly. I love the story about Barbie. She was in one of my webinars like 3 years ago, and she was just like, you know, I don't really want to do this full time. You know what? I'm just gonna take the training. I'm gonna start it and just do walk and talks, a couple walk and talks with agents, and see what happens. Right? So she got her business going 2 months. She got it all set up. Talked to a realtor, did a free walk and talk. They had nothing to lose. Fast forward 3 years, she works with 49 agents. She's got a climate-controlled 1,200 square foot warehouse in her backyard, enough inventory for 8 houses, clients on the waiting list, 4 full-time home stagers. She's actually hiring people. She's created jobs underneath her. She's ranked #1. Her first years of business, you know, she made 40,000. That's pretty dang good for her first year. Second year, 89. Third year, 140. How cool is that? She's been wanting me to send me this email. I didn't know this, right? She's doing something she absolutely loves. Most importantly, she's changing people's lives. And she should also mention she changed 4 other employees' lives. How cool is that? And she was just in your position. You just don't know where the business will take you. So the smart business model always extends. So here's where I'm going to get into a couple of my specials. There's 3 keys to consultation success. You want to broaden your services. So if you want that consultation business model, if that fit you, you just do color, you do design, redesign, you do staging consultations, you can do e-design consultations. Color is kind of cool because it's kind of the gateway to more services. People are afraid of color. People are painting now more than ever. My paint contacts are like, we are slammed. Again, everybody's doing home improvements, right? So they need directions, and people make a lot of paint mistakes. So write this down, you guys. This is my discount offer, and I'm doing it a little bit differently than I normally do. Actually, you know what? I'm going to see if let me throw this out here. This is a coupon code to you. It's called Dream Big, all in caps. If you click on this little button, the Get It Now, because some of you said you didn't even know where my blog was or anything, this will take you to my website. So, and it'll open up another, that Get It Now. Hopefully you can see that little thing that I just put up with the little emoji. Use the coupon code Dream Big. You're going to get $50 off any of my full price training courses. So my color, staging, and e-design. And I know a lot of you were waiting for this because you knew that I do this only on live webinar weeks. And so I'm giving that to you now. If you click on that Get It Now button, don't worry, it's just going to pop up in a window to my website where it'll show you the courses. So you actually can have that option for after this. I don't want you going there now because you're listening to me, but I just want you to click on that little Get It Now button because I'm going to remove this little box in a second because I like to look at the chat. So basically the color is a 3-day course. It's different than my staging and design, which is a 3-week really intensive course, which is all about starting your business, everything. Color is kind of takes the approach that you have some sort of business and you're just going to do color consultations, and I totally take the mystery out of it, walk you through every bit, connect you with Sherwin-Williams, Benjamin Moore, give you a color cheat sheet, which is kind of the secret sauce, telling you kind of when to use what color. So it's just one of those kind of great trainings that people love. Oh, good. Somebody said, I'm clicking on it to look later. Great. Okay, I'm gonna close that and get back to the training. Boom. And don't worry, I will also send you that reminder, Dream Big, in a future email with your Canva bonus. Someone said, what happened to the link? I know. Well, I need to see the chat. Don't worry, I'll send it to you in a follow-up email tomorrow morning with the replay. There's going to be a replay about this too. So the second secret, number 5, you guys, structure and success. Structure means everything. A lot of you who are fearful, you who said you were worried and fearful and you just are afraid to kind of put yourself out there, I would argue maybe you don't have enough structure with what you're doing. Because when you have a specific process that you can follow for every service you offer, you appear credible, confident, professional, and you're believable. Because a lot of you guys are nervous about the person saying, how long have you been staging? How long have you been designing? No one's going to ask you that question when you have structure, because you're walking in organized, right? They will trust that you're in control. And that's the secret. So part of having that structure, this is just a small example in my training, and everybody should have this. If you're a stager, you should have a phone order form. You have it on you. You'll eventually have it memorized, but it basically prompts you to all the questions you need to ask right away. Let's talk about the home. What's the square footage? When was it built? What do you want to list it at? How long have you been in the home? Is this a new home? How many bedrooms? Is it vacant or occupied? Remember, we talked about that. And then if it's vacant, you go into all these questions. And after these questions, you can give a quick price quote if you followed my pricing webinar. And then it basically has all the stuff, so you never make a mistake. Just like Kimberly says, I always say to my team, Audra wants us to do, took it with me into every stage, and that's what led to my success. And it's true. Everybody starts from somewhere. Everybody has to start pedaling that bike. And the structure is what brings them there. And the trusting yourself, number 4, is what brings them there. And I want you, if you're worried and you don't think you could do this, but you really wish you could, a lot of you said that, like, if only this is my dream, if only. Trust yourself. Please do. You have been training yourself on the elements of great design since you were a child. You told me in this chat room, you're solid. Trust in the law of attraction. I told you this. Do you notice that when I throw out my emails, I talk about some of the things that makes me me? The fact that I love wine, I'm very casual. I'm not stuffy or overly professional. That may not fit with the right person, right? I'm casual. I like emojis. I like inspirational quotes. I'm a little bit of a rock cheerleader. Everybody knows that. And I'm all about, let's do a happy hour and let's talk together. So I know that I'm going to attract that person. So when you throw your brand out there, and that's why it's important that you do throw yourself, you choose yourself, you throw yourself out there, you'll do better. I love that, Nicole. You're so cool. Nicole says, this is so inspiring. I've been sitting on this for a few months and needed that extra assurance. Nicole, I talk to people, they just on the phone and they're like, I just need to pull the trigger. And I've known that for years. I have been stalking you for years, Audra. Like, okay, well, if the $50 coupon Dream Big is that's what it will take for you to just step out of your comfort zone and do what you love, I say go for it. Trust your gut instinct about people because your gut is never wrong. And there are people that are not your people. I'm going to walk you through this a little bit. I always talk, listen well, set clear expectations. That's in your contract. I give the contract in my training, by the way, but if you're not, if whatever training you went through, if you're a stager, you have to have those clear expectations that will avoid all the problems that you'll run into. And just know that you can do this. Here's a little before photo and an after photo. I love it. She really did a great job. Every staging job is different, by the way, but they're all better, right? And you're going to get better and better and better because it's like riding a bike, right? I said you do get better and better and better. I love that. Number 3, the third success point is you have to have a really cool website. Image is everything in our industry. You know, it's like going to a hairdresser. Would you go to a hairdresser who had really bad hair? No, right? So, you know, I don't claim to have like this best image or whatever, but you can't look shoddy, you know, and that's kind of the point. Professionalism, always answering your phone, getting back to people. There's just rules of professionalism. I talk about those a lot in my training, but really you want to look great online. Websites are like iPhones and they do date. So that's for my veterans. Be selective, take those portfolio photos. You don't need 100 portfolio photos. You need 8 really good portfolio photos, and you don't even need the before photos these days, just the gorgeous after photos. And I always tell people, even if you're struggling with getting that full room, on your phone, go portrait mode and do some cool vignettes. Just have fun with that. Go around your home, style a coffee table, style a vignette, take the portrait mode and go, dang, that is pretty good because it's your jam. It's what you love to do. Your story will resonate. I've talked to you about that. Make it easy for clients to contact you on your website. Always have your phone and your email. In every email you send to friends, family, whatever, have a signature that is your name, your business, your link to your website. I see people with their website, no link to it. You know, people are curious by nature. Even if you send it to your kids' college counselor, you know, and it has your photo and your website link and maybe a PS. I love the PS. I'm a PS girl. PS, here's a link to my services. I'm happy to chat with your needs. I don't know. And send them there. You can't believe how much business you're going to get. It's just subliminal business. Create interest, capture leads, SEO, Google Words. So here are the websites. Here's an example of one of the websites that we do. All of the websites that we do for people, it's $699. It's a kind of, we only do it for our members because we don't really make money on this product. I just never want it to slow anyone up. You can always add it anytime as a member, and it's kind of an upsell. So if you're going to the courses and you hopefully clicked on the link and you're checking it out, one thing that we do for people is the websites can easily be changed. Everything can be swapped out. Pretty much everything. And we create brand boards in Canva. So we send you the Canva link to your brand board so you know kind of the brand of your business. And we even give you the color code. So if you're not familiar with things online, is every color has a little number code. It's called a hex code, and you can't really see it. I guess I should have, but this is the hex code for each one of these colors so that someone can take that and go to the Canva business card that we gave them and put in the code to change all the colors into their brand. And then we also customize or curate perfect font mixes for them, but they can even change that on their websites. So just so you know, that's kind of what our websites look like to inspire you. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can keep your website very, very simple. Home, portfolio, services, about us, your photo on it, agents, you know, why stage. Somebody said, hey, Audra, most of my questions are around clients. Who are the best types of clients to work with and how is it best to reach them? What are the best services to offer to get those types of clients? Who are the problem clients to stay away from? And I just kind of say that is all about, again, embracing you as your brand. You know, you have to own it. You are embrace that inner rock star. You can do this. A lot of people don't want to put themselves on video, but guess what? People see you every day anyway. What's wrong with you being on video? What's the difference between someone seeing you in person and seeing you in video? The big difference is now they know what to expect. They connect with you more when they've seen a video of you, and you didn't have to even put in time to that. So using that video, be consistent in your branding. I tell my stagers, you go into a home, after that home, do a quick video, selfie video. Oh my gosh, so much fun in this home. Here's what we did. Keep it casual. Hannah Lawton is one of my members. She does these beautifully. Takes 5 minutes, posts it, and she just uses that on her social media, and her social media explodes because of that. Why? Because people are connecting to her brand. And it doesn't necessarily mean that she's a better stager than the stager next door. It just means that those agents who happen to see that on social media are like, oh, I like this girl. It's the law of attraction. She put herself out there. She's going to attract people like her. So that's the beauty of social media. I got to tell you, I have a brand new, most amazing workshop in 2 weeks that is going to blow your socks off. I'm so excited about it. It's new because I'm redoing the marketing stuff in my training right now. And it's all on social media. So if you want to know all about marketing, that's what that's about. So stay in touch with me and you'll get emails. If you unsubscribe, you won't. Because people buy from who they know, like, and trust. You just need to remind them that you're there. And confidence is key, but confidence, again, you got to fake it till you make it. I love showcasing Leigh Awards, one of my members. She just broke the mold. She has like 3 little kids, wanted to be a luxury stager. She just zoomed straight into that. This is Bruce Willis's home that she staged. I honestly did not, when she told me she had 3 little kids and wanted to be a luxury stager, I thought, oh, that's going to be tricky, but she's doing it just beautifully, right? So don't let your goals be big. Don't let anybody, tell you otherwise. You are your brand. Invest in your inner rock star. And part of kind of building that confidence, like I said, is having that process, having that design and real estate knowledge, using some funnel marketing, and having just access to the support and resources and vendors that are going to make your business successful, right? I could talk to you guys forever, but I'm nearing the hour mark, so I'm going to get to number 1 of what makes a successful stager is they never have to reinvent. And if I've showed you anything in this training, is that there's a lot of stuff. My whole approach in my training is so that people don't have to reinvent. If they get approached for that Airbnb, guess what? I have a training in my training all about how to approach that Airbnb, the forms they need to give them, the pricing they should do, some ways to market that if that's a market they want to do. That's in week 3, by the way. So this is my 3-week outline. It is a lot. You have a year to go through it. It is self-paced. I'm your partner throughout. And the beauty of online training, and this is why it's so important than like a classroom training, is that you get to access it when you need it. So you may day 2 read through or watch my consultation video, and then maybe day 30 you get your first consultation. Somebody on this chat said they got their first consultation. Oh my gosh, you're freaked out. They had to wing it. Guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go back to day 2 and watch my video for a little boost. And that's the beauty of it. So the other beauty is I can always update it. I'm always changing it. Like I said, that training is my jam, and that's what I love to do, is put out resources that I know are going to empower people in this industry, my members, to do really well. I cover everything. You name it, this training has covered everything when it comes to staging and design. I even have a color module so that you're dangerous in color. It's just that it's not purely color consulting. I had to kind of separate that. I give you your proposals. See these in words? They look good. Exact pricing for both vacant and for occupied homes. I give you the order forms. I showed you that for any kind of client you're going to get, even holiday design training. You have the order form of what to ask. I give you walkthrough guides so that you have this cool guide that your client can read through, check mark, write down. So you come in professional and structured, and you're organized, and you look like a rock star, right? I give you the contract so that you're covered. I give you checklists so that you're organized. I give you the Canva handouts that make you look fantastic. By the way, all these colors can be changed to your brand. I showed you that because this is all Canva. And these are kind of things that you can make connections, right? To a seller. Oh, do you have my red flag checklist? Here's a good checklist flyer for when you are house hunting. Right? So they're all good things. They're all designed about your realtor partnerships. I have presentation slides, PowerPoint presentation slides. I have my members actually take these and put them in PowerPoint. Dragana, my gal from Madrid, go Dragana, she made a video in PowerPoint to this on her website. It's awesome. I'm going to share that with my members in just a bit. Super easy. So she just swapped out the back images because, again, this is all in Canva. You're not reinventing, and it's making you look fantastic. So it's A to Z. We have an 800 number to support. You can always refer back to it. You have the support of your community, that My Stagers Connect community, but I also do give you a hard copy manual because I do believe that people learn by, see my presentation here, you're watching me, you're seeing several slides, and you also have a worksheet, right? So that's how you learn and absorb. I know this from, my years of training. So choosing a trainer where you're getting all three is important. So just a little bit of brags. I have a million testimonials on my website, and I'm thanking my members here. You guys are so cool in the chat room to say nice things about the training. I don't have anyone who doesn't love it. I really don't. I have a 72-hour, no questions asked guarantee. So you really don't have anything to lose. But here's some things I thought were interesting. Sometimes I hate hearing these testimonies when they're like, I spent hundreds of hours trying to learn this and trying to get stuff. And the first day I realized, what was I wasting my time? So if you're a new stager and you haven't gone through my training and you feel like you're floundering, come. I'm so sorry. Come join me. Again, the same thing. She paid $700 for another staging course. Don't ever There's a lot of great staging courses out there. I'm not here to disparage any of my competition, but never choose a staging course unless you've watched the way the trainer trains. You've gotten a glimpse of me this hour. You need to be able to see whether, you'll know whether I'm your person or not, because you're going to get lots of me in the training. And so don't go with a trainer that you haven't seen, because they have to be your person. You have to connect with them, right? And here's some more. One day, confidence comes from knowledge. Investing in yourself and your learning will lead to confidence. Because at the end of the day, if we've learned anything from this pandemic, if you don't build your dreams today, someone's going to hire you to build theirs. So I know that a lot of us have been shaken up these last handful of months. But one thing I can unequivocally tell you that I hear from most all my members is the only regret is they wish they started earlier. If design is your jam, if you said yes to all those things, maybe today's your day. Maybe this is your week. This is your time to really think about it. I gave you that discount because sometimes it's just that $50 discount that's just like, to push you. Dream big. I always say, give me your passion. Give me 30 days. And $950, normally it's $999, and I'm going to show you how to create a successful business doing what you love in staging and design. This is a great time to start because a lot of people spend kind of this time focusing on building their business, and they even do some holiday design, and I have that in the training, which is really fun. We're going to talk about that. But there's so much you can do. So I have gotten to, you guys are awesome. We're at the hour mark. What kind of questions can I answer? I know somebody said they're debating between, don't upload anything. Sorry. Hey, TT, I know you love you, but don't upload anything. That would be great. Yay, Alba, welcome to the color course. You're going to love it. Betsy, tips, positions, other stagers companies if prefer working on a team. Betsy, actually, I have a lot of people who take my training and then they approach other stagers in their area having had that, or contact other stagers in your area and ask them, what, a lot of times stagers aren't necessarily hiring they just work independently from their own homes. That's how most of them start. But a lot of times they do. In fact, I just talked to Michael. Shout out to Michael. I think he's supposed to be on here. He just signed up for my training. He does this amazing, he builds all of these visual merchandising for high-end retails. And he was recently laid off because of COVID. And he's like, I'm just going to sign up for the training. I don't know if I want to do this. Maybe I want to work for someone, but I'm done, watching Netflix or whatever. I'm just going to learn something. I kind of love it. Um, okay, who hires stagers, realtors, or Rowan? Who hires stagers, realtors, or sellers? Both, Rowan. A lot of agents are very smart and they're doing it. It's part of their, marketing package. But a lot of times sellers are contacting stagers before they even contact their agent. So e-design or staging in this climate, where to start? Denny. Well, Denny, if you already have a business, my e-design training is amazing, but it kind of takes the approach that you already know your business name, your foundation, all of that. Otherwise, I say start staging because that is a 3-week, walk you through staging and design, and it's kind of the bulk of what you're going to do. Do you explain how staging works without having inventory? Jacqueline, it works pretty simply. Most people want to live in their home while they're selling it, right? So you have to go in and help them declutter, help them stay organized, help them showcase, do maybe some shopping for new things, new pillows and things, tell them what they need to pack away. Most people do not want to, have all their stuff cleared out and live in, a cleared out home. So that's how that works. Adriel, I do have a bundle deal because it's $50 off every training right now. So that's the best price. I'm going to tell you, I never discount lower than that. So you get, if you choose e-design, color, and staging, which a lot of people do because they're like, I'm going to do it all, you get $50 off. You should save $150. Oops, I don't know why that switched. Okay. Sorry. I'm an introverted interior designer, but I've always loved, doing models. I struggle to get clients. Is this the same issue with staging? Debbie, staging is easier to market because for you, if you love models, home builders, right? You have your photos, you have your work. Actually, I had some people, they use e-design in conjunction with, they kind of put together that design plan, an example design plan of how they would do it. And they went into investor meetings and they showcased their work, or they talked to builders and did that. But staging isn't easier to market, Debbie, especially if you're an introvert, because if you have a great website and you do staging and you're getting it out there to agents and you're talking about the benefits of staging and checklists and things like that, there's a lot you can give. They're just going to know you like you sooner. It's just a little easier to market. Lulu, I've been offered my first staging job without any experience. Woohoo, Lulu, I love that. Okay, you guys are asking so many questions. I've been working as a set decorator. Well, that is perfect. You're like Michael, visual merchandiser. I feel like I got this, but I'm not familiar with vendors that support stagers, i.e. long-term rentals. The client has asked for a proposal, 3-month rental, purchase. Okay. Yeah, Lulu, that is all in week 2 of my training, vacant staging. But essentially, immediately, like yesterday, go to the furniture rental company near you. I just did a blog post, one of my members, this is what I tell people to do. Partner with the furniture rental company for all of the main big pieces, right? That's part of your proposal. The question, the whole, 2-month, 3-month package, and then you're going to buy inventory that will alongside that neutral inventory. It doesn't cost that much, and you're actually going to get money up front. You're not going to buy anything until you bill up front. You're going to get big deposit up front for the whole job, and you use that to buy that inventory. And that is how people can get started without having to put money into it. They actually get the money up front for those small accessories to go shop. Also, I highly recommend the market. Oh my gosh, I can talk forever. One of the benefits to staging and design is you get to shop wholesale at the Las Vegas market, High Point, that sort of thing. I have a training and my training all about that, and my favorite vendors. And all of these vendors kind of know, because I've been around for a long time, know me. They want to work with my members. So it is just a matter of opening up accounts with them, and or just going to market. You can sign up for market free. Go to Las Vegas Market. You can sign up and go if you have your reseller's license. And in my training, I walk people through. It's really easy to get your reseller's license when you're a stager. So that's, if you just want to shop wholesale, this is one of the big benefits. So you guys have so many questions. Michelle, a real estate acquaintance of hers, said she might be too old to be a stager, said it was too physical. What are your thoughts? Okay, Michelle, that is really interesting. I have so many, you won't believe how many 70-year-olds tell me they're ready to get into staging. Your model will be different. You're not going to do vacant staging. Anyone that has physical, because vacant staging, you're not moving the heavy furniture. The furniture rental company is at first, and then eventually you'll get movers to do it, right? So you're not moving it, but you're still probably going to be moving all that lightweight stuff. So if you have any physical limitations, I always say go with the consultation business model. And in that, you're just telling people what to do and you're not actually moving it. This is your business. You can shape it any way you want, and no one is ever too old to get started. In fact, I guarantee I have stagers on this line right now that are over 50. If you are, you can put it in there. Shannon, yes, you earn a certification at the end of this course. My training was the first Reset accredited certification, so it does matter. Do you have access to wholesale home stores to buy inventory? Yeah, that's what I was saying. You absolutely, well, some of them aren't necessarily near you, but some are. But the market, like traveling to Vegas or whatever, they'll deliver to you. You just go, it's all about online shopping right now. So not hard to get. And I have a whole training. That's a whole other ball of wax training, but it's part of the fun of this industry because let's be honest, most of us love to shop. We love to shop. I have a whole training on what to get and how to shop. Okay, you guys are great. It's getting late. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to have to see you go. I wish you well. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope to see you. I'm going to email you the replay and the links and all the things I said I was tomorrow. The deadline for these, I should have told you, deadline is Friday at midnight. Dream big. Do not contact me after that. No, I'm kidding. But really, honestly, deadline, that's when it stops for the discount. So you have a couple days to think about it. I hope you will not regret it. I hope you join the training. This is the time. This is your time to do something great and special. And if you, of course, have questions, look at all you guys. Feel free to email me back or call us, or we have a chat room. I mean, we're here for you. But in all honesty, once you jump into the training, when somebody buys, you get straight into the training. You're going to be like a kid in the candy store. There's tons of cool stuff right in there, and it's just exciting to follow. So I hope to work with you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks on my next workshop if I don't work with you before then. And thank you, guys. You guys were great. Take care.